Welcome back, everybody. I hope y'all had a great Mother's Day weekend. Let's talk about yoga, foul play in a prison, and an unforgettable softball game. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. The political push to allow Alabama public schools to do yoga has come alongside 1,000 eye rolls and an exasperated, "it's not religious," people. Well, when the Alabama State Senate passed HB 246 late last week, it was approving a measure that tries its best to make sure the religious practices and symbolism associated with yoga will be half a world away, at least, from whatever happens in Alabama schools. AL.com's John Sharp reports that the bill would not allow any references to religion or rituals. No chanting, mantras, mudras, mandalas, no namaste greetings such as the sacred bow, no hypnotic states or guided imagery. The bill limits yoga classes to poses, exercises, and stretching. Forward folds, downward dogs, all that stuff. Also, schools will have to use English descriptive names for the movements and techniques, so no stretching in a foreign language. The Senate tweaked the bill a bit, so it'll have to go back through the House on May 17th, which is the final day of the legislative session. As long as the House is cool with the changes, it's on to the governor's desk. And an important note here. If this became law, it wouldn't mean yoga would become part of mandatory curriculum. It means that the 1993 ban on yoga would be lifted, so public schools could include it as an exercise class. An Alabama prison inmate was killed just one day before his release, reports the Associated Press. Ian Reddig was serving 18 months and was 23 years old. The Alabama Department of Corrections said the cause of death is pending an autopsy. The Alabama Political Reporter is reporting that Reddig was stabbed to death at Fountain Correctional Facility, sourcing another inmate. Now, as we've talked about before, the U.S. Justice Department is suing Alabama over prison conditions, calling them unconstitutional. That is, they fail to overcome that cruel and unusual bar set by the framers. A major part of the issue with Alabama prisons is the concern over violence. If you like a high-scoring ball game, you should have been at Montgomery's Lagoon Park for the Alabama Class 6A Area 3 softball tournament late last week. Park Carlson scored 11 runs in the first inning and lost the lead, only to eventually come from behind to beat Sidney Lanier 46-45. Now, I've covered high school basketball games that didn't have that much scoring. There's a long list of records that were broken, and we'll get to some of them. But first, here are a couple that seem like they probably tell the tale of the game pretty well. Most combined walks by both teams, 65. Most combined hit batters by both teams, 29. Sidney Lanier's Brooke Searles now has the Alabama State record by being hit by 4 pitches in one game. Now, y'all hear the phrase, take one for the team. Brooke took 4 for the team, and the team still lost. Here are some more records that stood out to me. Combined runs, 91, just 4 short of the national record. Runs by a single player, 7. Latoria Clear, who also had a record 8 plate appearances. She walked 5 times and was hit by 3 pitches. Most batters faced by a pitcher. Sidney Lanier's Jamil Young, 74 batters faced. And you old-timers remember Greg Maddux throwing only 76 pitches in a complete game. I know baseball and softball are apples and oranges, but that's just to say 74 batters faced is a lot. Now, I'm sure everybody who's had to gut out a never-ending ball game will tip your hat to these girls. And 46-45 is way better than a blowout where one side mails it in. Thank y'all so much for listening. We gave Lee the week off. Maybe she needed some rest after a rowdy Mother's Day celebration. I don't know for sure. If severe weather turns up in the forecast, she'll try to warn you ahead of time at al.com/weather. Otherwise, we'll be back here tomorrow and hope you'll come on by and see us in the meantime at al.com.